then it would just automatically allow me to just catch things.
You can always give them to Kenrick when he shows up.
Yeah, that makes sense for Kenrick.
Kenrick's got some loot.
He's got great dexterity.
Hey, Rick.
Yes.
When you don't have to do it right now, but could you give me the address to that website on Discord at some point?
Yeah, you gave it to me, bro.
I don't remember what it was.
Okay, that's fine. I'll go back through my stuff. Yeah, that's cool.
What
you said?
Something kind of cut out. It's like, or sounded like.
Oh, I said I didn't know it was free.
Yeah, it's free. Yeah, the starter set's free. So, PDFs. Complimentary.
So I would love to have a physical copy because I love books, but
yeah,
don't got no monies.
So
what else do I have to level up? Because it's not killing me.
No, you're good. That's it. You just get that extra thing. Yeah. And then let me double check something here real quick. Make sure. Your proficiency bonus increases by 1.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
That should be for everybody.
Yeah, everybody gets that.
I got the 4
instead
now.
Of 3, it's 4. Yep. You're extra special fancy.
Yeah.
Pinky out. Nice.
Oh, my God. Depending on what clothes my character... Like, what does the cloak look like, first of all? I kind of need to know this.
What was the cloak?
The elven cloak. It basically hides my presence if I put the hood up.
It will stay as a regular brown, just like appears to be fine cloth, but when you pull up the hood, it'll be blended in with your surroundings.
Gotcha.
It doesn't necessarily have to stay brown. But if you want to change it, like the base color, you have to have a long rest. Default's brown, but if you want it to be green or blue or whatever, you can't just like change it on a whim. It has to be after a long rest.
Gotcha. I was just wondering, like the style it was, because depending on, because I think you said the disguise hat was a top hat.
It's a bowler, actually.
My character looks like some sort of ripper. Right
yeah,
now.
I mean he's a Victorian crazy pants.
Isn't that what all like RPGs end up being? Like you just look freaking insane because you have all this mismatch items and whatnot.
I mean sometimes, or you could be like, have you ever seen the one with the screen with the behind camera where it has all the different weapons? From Halo or whatever, it's got like 35 weapons. It goes back 25 feet. If I can find that, I'll have to post it. But yeah,
I was thinking of there was like some Photoshop job that somebody did when they came out with the Warcraft movie. It was like if it was accurate, and it showed them like mismatched pink and purple armor and everything instead.
Yes,
that would be freaking hilarious.
That's awesome.
Is there any way I can get the info for those 2 items? Or...
Yeah, I'll send you links here in a little bit.
Cool.
So when you guys are in the treasury, you are going to. I'll just put this over here. You are going to need to find a way to get to Talvarar, because that's the next step in the journey. You've been given the golden coin by Princess Sarissa, and looking for King Hecaton.
We already decided that I'm not allowed to make decisions, right?
I mean, you can decide that if you want to.
Okay. I'm just saying because I know too much. That's why.
No, it's different, so you're fine.
Okay, I was going to... Well, Maul is going to go talk to his whale friend and see if the whale friend knows how to get there.
Whale sort of knows where islands are, but he doesn't really know where that specific one is.
Okay.
It's like, I don't know, man. I know where a bunch of islands are, but I'm not sure that this is the right one.
Can I do a history check to try to see if I remember anything about generally where it is?
Sure. Roll it up.
Nope, apparently not.
Nope. You do know that it's an island, and you know it's surrounded by water.
That's what that blue stuff is.
Well, to be fair, since his backstory has to do with this place, shouldn't he get advantage?
Yeah. You totally should. You should roll that again.
I should know it.
You're not exactly a navigator,
Yeah.
but you remember that it's not that far off the coast. And you do know somebody who is a ship's captain.
I mean, I can navigate. I just don't know where it is.
Right.
I mean, if you want me to make some navigation checks, I'm happy to drive the boat.
You guys don't have a boat right now.
Oh.
So you're in the treasury of the.
Is there a boat in the treasury?
There is not, but there is a
Okay,
teleportation circle.
All right. Do
Like
we know
in
where that
the,
goes?
So if you go back, sorry, let me take you to this, and you guys are right here. So you know that you can travel along the teleportation circle to several of the different spots. Oop. So anywhere on the map where you guys have been before, you can teleport. You can use the teleportation circle to go there. It's sort of like Harry Potter's flu powder.
Mm-hmm.
You can like say the place that you want to go and think about it clearly in your head, and poof, you're there. So if you want to go back,
Okay. I have a question for the DM.
sure.
You said that nobles from all over try and get in this place, right?
Yeah.
And
Into the Golden Steps, not to the Sin Spire, not just the anybody can come to the island. There are a lot of people who
Maul
live
was
there.
told this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. That's just you remembering me saying something maybe wrong, or it's been 2 weeks. But yeah, anybody can come to the island. The coin that you guys got was from the Sin Spire, which is at the top of the Golden Steps, and the nobles and the velvet ropes and everything are just around this particular gambling hall. Anybody can go to the island.
If only we had a druid.
Why is
Why
that?
do you want a druid?
Because teleportation, they can focus on an item and go to the location it's from.
That's like a level 8 spell. We're not even close to that.
Yeah, you can't
That's
get there.
big up stuff.
Yeah, that's big time stuff.
We ain't there, kid.
You can
We
go
little.
someplace you've been before, though.
We mid-sized.
Where do we start at? Gansgard? Like where?
Well,
So, Nurum, if you want to go home, you can go home.
And I'm trying to think if this is.
Because you're from there.
Yeah.
all you have to do, I guess, is link.
Yeah. I vaguely remember. Don't think there's anything left of it anymore.
The other thing,
Think about it.
you guys do know somebody who's a ship's captain.
Yeah.
Right.
So, what do you guys want to do?
Well, I mean, I'll say we get on the boat. I assume we can teleport straight to.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys can go to the Golden Iris if you want to.
I mean,
Oh,
my guess is a bard and ship's captain is going to know where the Sin Spire is.
if we still have access to the Golden Iris, I'd vote that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Never know when we might need to suddenly
Yeah.
get back on that thing.
Okay, and do I see Captain Tobias anywhere?
Yeah, he's. Holy shit! Where'd you guys come from? What just happened?
I'm gonna immediately take out my little friend and walk over to him and ask Tobias if he can give my little friend Mage Hand.
Where'd you come from?
Oh,
Where have you guys been, man? I haven't heard from you in weeks.
Oh, yeah, we've been places, man.
Places?
Yeah.
Did you find the Maelstrom?
We did.
Yes, we did.
Nice. Did
It
Daltor
was
come and
less
help you
friendly
out?
than we might have
He
hoped.
almost killed us.
No, I handled the problem.
No, you almost got us killed
No,
by
man.
talking back to a dragon.
That dragon is a dick.
Yeah.
I mean, in Zeke's defense, almost every dragon I've ever met was a dick.
That one is a lady dick. So
She
whatever.
lightning breathed us close quarters.
Yeah.
That's never fun.
Never let go.
What did you say, Maul? You wanted something?
I take out my little friend. I've decided to name him Jimmy.
Okay.
I'm asking Tobias if he can give him Mage Hand so that my little friend can pick up things that are beyond his capacity.
I can
Just,
try and
just for him, not as for my use, for his use.
I can try and teach him.
Okay.
But normally my abilities are limited to items, so
That's perfectly fine.
we'll
I
see.
think we have time for you to teach him.
We'll see. Where you guys? Why'd you guys come back to the ship?
we got to get to the Sin Spire, and we don't know where that is.
Oh no. For real?
Trust me, I don't want to go back either.
The Sinspire is not a place you guys are going to have any success at getting in. It's locked up tighter than a virgin's asshole.
Maul clears his throat and puts his hat on.
We have a coin. I show him the coin.
That's a coin from the Sinspire, all right. But that's not going to get you in the door.
Maul turns into a fancy nobleman. Just a
Ooh,
generic fancy nobleman.
that's a pretty party trick. How'd you learn how to do that?
He lifts his hat up, and I'm assuming as soon as it leaves his head, it goes away.
Yeah, and now you're just holding this bowler hat, and you.
Yeah, he puts it back on.
Whoa, Captain Tobias is thoroughly impressed.
I can also disappear too.
And then Captain Tobias is gone, just poof, gone. Hey guys, I got tricks too.
Maul takes off the hat, puts it in his bag, puts the hood up.
Whoa! Nice. All right. So, you are going to spend about 3 days aboard the airship, traveling, and you are going to come to.
I have also given Jimmy over to Tobias for these 3 days.
Cool. Roll percentile dice.
Okay, how do I do that?
/ roll
1 to
D100.
Okay.
Okay. Jimmy is going to sort of learn a little bit, but he can't cast Mage Hand yet. He's going to
Okay.
need a little bit more time.
Okay, cool.
He's still able to, he's still able to walk on 2 feet and pick things up with his little hands, but he can't carry much.
Okay.
He has little hands.
Well, I'm aware. That's why I want to give him Mage Hand so that he can actually be a successful chef.
Yeah, Mage Hand can't hold more than 10 pounds, though. So, but it can handle big,
most
awkward
steaks-
things.
Yeah, most steaks aren't more than 10 pounds.
God, I hope not. So you guys are going to land in the Silver Marina. The Silver Marina is where all of the commerce takes place. On the other side of the main anchorage is the Sword Marina. That's where all of the military ships are docked. The important places, and Nurum, you would know this, are the Savrola. That's where all of the hotels for visiting, like visitors and that kind of thing. That's where everybody kind of stays. The Great Gallery is sort of like a bazaar. the Golden Steps, and you can see marked on the map here, number 2 is the Sin Spire. The Black Hands Crescent is where all the blacksmiths and the coal carters live. All of the coal, it actually has to be imported to the island from land, so it's actually very expensive on the island. The Castellana is where the government is, and then everything else is relatively self-explanatory. If you have any specific questions, I can answer them for you.
Okay.
How do people get around this? I mean, are there little barges? Is this...
So if it's on the same island, most people walk, and then there are ferries that cost a couple of coppers a piece that go from every island to the other.
Yeah.
And because of the glass reefs, I don't know with the contrast if you guys can see them very well, but the reefs that go around the outside of the island, all of the water inside the reefs is very, very calm. It's almost like glass. So you guys land at the Silver Marina, and you know that there are probably several bars and taverns in the Maraverain and in the Savrola that you could go to. You could also go to the bazaar in the Great Gallery. Or if there's something else that you'd like to do, you can go there.
I was gonna ask if I could roll another percentile dice.
Not yet.
Well, I'm not talking about from Mage Hand. I was talking about to see if anybody from his past is around, because since nobles and high-status merchants come here...
From whose past?
Mine.
From yours? Sure.
Okay.
Roll it up.
I just thought it would be more adequate to try and stay under the radar.
If you're trying to stay under the radar, you're not going to have any trouble. There are 30 or 40 boats at any given time in the marina. You're not going to have to worry about that. If you were looking to interact with somebody, it was going to be tough. But you're not going to have to worry about staying under the radar. Nobody's going to notice you. Even full giants are not unheard of in the marina. There are a couple of them you see unloading cargo boats. There's every stripe and color, from tieflings to halflings to half-orcs to full giants. Every humanoid race is here. Goblins even.
Well, the reason I was asking, because I kind of figured anybody from Voda who has seen my character before would recognize him on the spot.
He just told you not to worry about it. You're fine.
Don't worry about it.
The DM says you're good. You're good, dude.
Yeah, you're good.
Don't make a problem where you don't have one.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
No need to invent.
Yeah, there's so many people here. You're not even gonna have to worry about it.
Is there a temple district anywhere around here?
There is. The temple district is one of two places. If you're going to be worshiping a god of either banking or coin, the temple's going to be on the Golden Steps with the rest of the gambling houses. The rest of the temples to all of the other gods are in the Emerald Galleries.
Okay.
Did you want to go to the Temple of Talos?
Well, we got to figure out a way to get into this Golden Steps. We got to figure somebody out. At this point, I can ask around the temple and find out what it takes to get in. I don't know where else we can go to get information like that.
Okay.
If anybody else has
Maul puts his hand on your shoulder. He just... How good are you at convincing people?
I mean, probably better than you, but not as good as most folk.
I'm not one who likes to lie.
You don't have to lie.
I'm not particularly good at deceit either. My convincing tends to be more along the line of preaching the good word.
I've got 3 in deception, so I'm...
If you need somebody to lie, you got a liar over there.
That is the most deception we got.
Yeah. But, I mean, if you want to ask around the temple, you're going to probably find out what you already know. that it's going to be very difficult to try and trick your way in. But there's a lot you can find out about the.
I want to get invited. I don't want to get tricked in. I want to find out what it takes to get invited in.
Lots and lots and lots of money,
Okay.
thousands and thousands of coins.
Okay. So it is literally just a cash thing.
Yeah, it's a money thing.
Okay.
If you can buy nice clothes and you can walk in with a letter of credit for 5,000 or 10,000 gold, or you can have that brought in hard coin before you try and come in, because the golden the Sinspire also functions as a bank.
Sure.
Then they'll know who you are and they'll let you in.
Who do we know that has a lot of money?
Well, I'm sitting on 5,000. Then I'm sitting on a lot of money. We picked up 3,500 gold piece pearls.
Yeah, we did pick up a buttload of pearls, didn't we?
We got a lot of money.
Yeah, we do. Let me see if because I know I had the majority of them. I split some with you and some with short stuff over there. But
I
still had
took
the
30. I
majority.
don't know what else was out there. I think you took 30 and short stuff took 10, but I'm not positive.
Yeah. Wait.
I don't write down
It
your
would've-
loot.
it would've
I
been
only
more.
write down my loot.
Yeah.
That would be more. I know I wrote it down somewhere.
I mean, in theory, we got more cash money than Jesus. So, while we're in the cleric area, I'm going to try to get myself the most gaudy and ridiculous fucking televangelist style, praise Jesus, feel the word kind of vestment.
I mean, you do have a tiara.
I do. I'm going to milk the
Oh, I
tiara
have,
for all it's worth.
You
I
find
found
out,
out where I read the. What?
Ezekiel, you find out that in style this season are bejeweled vestments. So not the robes, but like the scarf.
The
Is that
stole.
the right
Yeah,
word?
the
The stole. You have like a solid color with jewels on the tassels.
It sounds perfect.
Yeah, they'll know you're the ballinest cleric around if you get one of those.
How much cash do I need to pimp
It's
my
going to
ride?
cost you 500 gold for one of those.
All right, I'll spend 1,000 and just make sure I do it right.
You're going to find the best one you can find for 500.
Okay. What about boots and everything else to go along with it?
Everything else to go along with it is going to cost you another 100.
Okay.
I found out where I wrote my pearls. Apparently, I had 117.
Cool.
And how much were those pearls worth?
500 gold piece.
Oh, we got
I
a
just
good
wrote-
we got a substantial amount.
Yeah, I just wrote a bunch of pearls. I didn't get a number on that.
So we'll say you had 15, Nurum.
Okay. That works.
So
I think
for
I gave him 20.
you're also going to find out that for non-humans, clothing is more expensive.
I gotcha.
I turn into a
Particularly
Wealthy
for...
looking-
Go ahead.
what, for small. No, go ahead and finish.
Say particularly for larger folks, the price is higher because of the extra cloth that's required.
I don't need that, so I'm good. I turn into a fairly wealthy-looking nobleman that has a little bit of an air of you don't want to mess with him,
Cool. Nurum,
just to be specific.
what do you want to be dressed in?
Anything go with the gold-plated armor?
Yeah, if you would like to
Gold breastplate.
get a if you would like to have a jeweler redo the not necessarily shoddy but hasty job that was done to mount the jewel into your axe, you can do that. That'll cost you 50 gold. And then if you want to get a belt for to hang it on, because carrying weapons in your hands, carrying weapons is totally acceptable in this area, but having them in your hands and brandishing them all the time, like you're used to doing, is probably not something you want to do. So you can either get a shoulder strap or a belt or something like that, and then you probably want to get a new pair of boots, some sort of strange leather, maybe shark skin. You probably go ahead.
Continue. Sorry, I thought I was gonna talk when you did a pause, but continue.
So you probably want to get like a clasp for your cloak, because it's I mean, you've got it sort of like bunched up a little bit, but if you want to keep it on, you want to keep the attunement to it, then you need to like figure out a way to make it more your size. And if you want to go see a magical tailor, he can take care of that for you for another 200 gold.
Yeah, that sounds like it'd be a good idea.
So all in, you're looking at about 600, about the same as Ezekiel. And then on top of that, if you're gonna, did you want the boots?
Yeah, let's go with some fancy.
So if you do the boots, it's gonna cost you 1,000 total.
1,000 total?
Yeah.
I think I can manage that.
Okay. And then
Is there my question? I have a statement and a question. My question is there any place where I can get just one like brass knuckle?
sure, absolutely.
Okay.
You're gonna feel like you're getting ripped off though,
Why?
because it's gonna cost you 50 gold for the one brass knuckle, because the armorers around here are very like about giants, because most of the ones that they know are very
I don't
dumb.
look like a giant. I look
Oh,
like
okay.
a standard nobleman that has an air about him that you
Gotcha.
don't want to look at him too much.
Gotcha.
And what's
Make sure
funny
they make
about
it big
that
enough
is
that
my
it fits
full
on you, dude.
size is hidden by this disguise, if I remember how this hat works.
Yeah, you're good.
Just make sure it fits on your hand, because the look you have is illusionary. If they make a brass knuckle for somebody my size, it ain't gonna fit you.
It'll-
I'm gonna
Typically
ask
thinking.
for a giant sized one.
Yeah,
So-
sure. You can buy a giant size one for 5 gold.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going with that shoulder strap to the axe.
Cool.
Clasp
And
for
how much
the-
damage would
I
that
guess,
add on to it?
It's not actually going to add damage. It's just for looks. It's just for jewelry.
Oh, I was gonna.
Yeah.
I actually wanted something with a little more oomph on my non-sorted hand.
Okay.
Because of how much damage monks already do, they outdo what all these weapons do. So normally you can't add any damage to your monk damage. You can
Gotcha.
either take the highest one, whether it's your fist or the brass knuckles.
See, the brass
Okay, then
knuckles
I'll
aren't
just-
really going to add much anyway, but it does
Traditionally,
look
that's
cool.
how it works.
Yeah, it does
But
look cool.
I'll keep it for the looks. And what I was gonna say, it's funny that I am literally bigger than my disguise, so I can walk through a crowd and they're gonna be hit when they're like 2 feet away from me.
Yep.
Luckily,
So,
you're very nimble, so you won't break the illusion.
Exactly.
so Ezekiel had what? Did you pick a color?
Oh, blue.
I figured it was blue. So you have
Blue
a
and gold, baby.
you have a sapphire and gold encrusted stole. Nurum has a new set of sharkskin boots, and Maul has a very cool disguise with fine clothes and a shiny new brass knuckle.
We look ridiculous.
That
and I love
nobody
it.
can see because it's in my illusion now.
No, your illusionary guy has a brass knuckle on.
Okay.
Totally does. Totally.
Sure. Let's go with it.
So you guys are in the Emerald Galleries at the Temple District, and then you went over to the Black Hands Crescent to visit the Armorer, and all of the clothes that you bought were in the Merchant's Crescent. I'm not going to ask you to track the coffers that it took you to move from place to place, but it does take you some time. You're looking at about 2 days to get all of that done.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Tailor time, and
Yeah.
once you order the boots, they have to put stuff on them, and it took the guy a little while to knock up the brass knuckle. So
while we're searching around, I'm going to see if anybody has like a bag of holding for sale. I understand that magic items are super rare and not easy to grab, but as we're poking around, I'm looking for something that I can ditch my armor in while we're walking around. That's not going to be attunement wise.
you're gonna find a couple of different places that have bags of holding. Most of them are gonna be pretty small though, like a Crown Royal bag type. So you're gonna have a really tough time fitting fitting your armor into it, because you're wearing half plate, right? Or full plate?
Full plate.
Full plate.
Yep.
Yeah. So like your greaves and your bracers and all that kind of stuff you could fit into it, but the breastplate is going to be kind of a problem. But
Sure.
you do find one guy who has a bag of holding. He's asking 10,000 gold for it, though.
Mm.
Which you
Hold on
know
a
is
second,
sort of a
I'll be right back.
ripoff.
While you guys are
Yeah,
taking
that
care of
seems super steep.
Yeah. Most of the other ones were about 200.
You know, I'm going to go ahead and take the other ones. Excuse me. So if I take one and I ditch the greaves and stuff, okay. How ridiculous do I look walking around in full plate armor?
I mean, not really. I mean, everybody recognizes you as a cleric and a warrior.
All right, I'll buy a little one just to have it, but I'm not going to worry about it after that.
Okay.
Right on.
You're not like super common, but travelers and sailors and warriors are not uncommon around here.
Nobody's upset to see a dude in armor. It's not.
As long
you
as
said
you're
weapons
not,
are okay. I just
as
wanted
long
to
as you're
make
not
sure.
brandishing your weapons or fighting in the streets, nobody really gives a shit. As long as you're dressed nice and you're not trying to like sneak around, you're good.
I am never going to be trying to sneak around ever.
Your obvious
Always
wealth
at the
makes
bottom.
people. Your obvious wealth and the fact that you're a human puts people at ease almost immediately.
Perfect, and I'm gonna just get the little pouch so I have it, and I'm good to go after that.
And then on top of that, he's got a high society noble walking next to
Yeah,
him.
absolutely. So, I mean, you're in a group of clearly wealthy people, so nobody really gives a fuck. They look sort of askance at the dwarf. They're not real sure why he's wearing a cape, but other than that, after
Right
you
on.
go to the magical tailor and the cloak fits him a little bit better, I mean, people still aren't sure about the dwarf, but they leave you alone.
If anybody asks, we can just say he's either a servant or a follower, depending on if it's you or me that answers.
I'm not particularly concerned. I've seen him handle worse than some bouncers at a bar or some yuppie drunks. So, all right,
But
what are we doing when we?
Weren't
get
you
to
the
the
one that
city?
said you didn't want conflict right now? Like, not off the bat.
And the other thing is, as you guys are walking around, you pick up several things. You know that everybody in town gambles. Everybody, from the lowest dock worker all the way up to the biggest noble. Gambling on anything is a part of the culture. Outside of transactional business, even when you're just sitting around having a meal, everybody bets on everything. So that's something you guys pick up really, really fast. The other thing is that outside of purchasing goods, everything is negotiable. So everybody has a price. Everything is sort of transient in town.
Bunch of heathens.
No, praise Talos.
Praise Talos.
So you guys are in the Merchant's Crescent, unless you want to be someplace else.
I mean, I easily have now. I'm trying to think, because I have a shit ton of gold worth of pearls in my bag.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I could easily get us in there.
Not with the pearls.
Not
The
with
pearls are worth plenty, but unless you want to like send them ahead with a courier, or or go to a bank and get a letter of credit, they
Seems
they
like whenever
expect they expect hard currency or
Yeah,
a local
seems like
bank's
when we
credit.
start this.
Go ahead.
Well,
Matt.
I was about to say where we started this whole campaign. I forget exactly what town that was, where we had to kind of sell off all that silver.
That was Kamor.
Yeah, trying to remember where that was exactly, but yeah.
This is where you guys were when we started off.
hmm
That was the town where you were.
Yeah. So we'll probably have to do a similar approach if we were going to do something like that.
I'm gonna say this, like, you can tell by the way Maul is carrying these pearls around. He's never had this much money in his life.
So if you,
I mean, I don't think anyone has. This is more money than like kings have most of the time, brother.
yeah,
Like townsfolk make like a gold a month.
yeah, you guys have lots of money. So if you guys want
Millionaire.
if you guys want to try to find a bank, or if you want to just, if you want to try to find a hotel to stay at, you can try and do that there.
Like clearly, we need to find a place to stay.
Yeah. Savrola or wherever that was. It's like there.
Yep. So if you guys go over to the Savrola, you're going to find several hotels. Most of them are going to cater to the wealthy. You're looking at a gold apiece per night.
I have that easily.
Yep.
Yeah, we can handle that.
So
I have like 15 gold on me.
the other thing that the hotel will offer is that it will offer you the services of the bank that it's associated with. So if you want to do like a currency exchange, or if you want to do a depository, the hotel as a service has runners and armored guards that will open accounts and draw credit for you and things like that.
Based on the guys at the Church of Talos, does this seem like common practice? We're not worried about getting swindled too badly?
Absolutely. As long as you go through a reputable establishment, as long as you're not trying to do it in a back alley, you're walking in through the front door. There, you see, as you're walking around town, you see, guarded chests, and some of the few people that you do actually see brandishing weapons are the people who are going with the caravans from the Savrola to the Emerald Galleries. That's where several of the banks are, and then also over to the Golden Steps to where the rest of the banks are.
I'm going to use my phone to calculate how much gold I have real quick, so give me a second.
No, you're fine.
Rick, as someone who is actually living in this area, time, whatever, I mean, do I think 10,000 is a lot of money, like stupid lot, or do I think it needs to be higher than that to be stupid lot?
You think 10,000 is what will pass you off as someone who is new money. So
okay.
You're rich, but you're not necessarily respectable outside of your bank account.
I'm good with that.
58,500 is what I have in pearls.
I'm going to set up to give 10,000 to a courier to get me set up.
Cool.
We each got to do what we can to get set up and get in there.
Mm-hmm.
I will do the same.
Yeah, guys.
And will they take the pearls no problem?
Yeah, the banks will take the pearls no problem.
Right.
The banks have a strong relationship with the jewelers in town, not just here, but also in other parts of the realm. The banks have no issue with it, but the gambling houses and the tailors and the merchants had a little bit of difficulty with it. So you're going to need to, if you haven't already, make sure that you mark off what you paid for the stuff that you got, and that's going to be taken care of now. You were working on credit before because you were well dressed,
okay.
And so that gets taken care of
I had 15 gold on me, so I spent 5 for the knuckles.
Right, but Ezekiel and
And I
Nurum
still
both
had
spent
10.
over 1,000. Like Ezekiel spent 600 and Nurum spent 1,000. So
Yeah.
I was close to that in cash, but I would have been just over the top. I had 538 in cash.
Yeah, they had no problem extending you credit, but it's
okay.
It's a good idea to pay it off now.
Yep, I get it paid off.
I was, can I actually do, 15,000?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely. No problem. Nurum, did you want to do more than 10?
I think pretty much all I have right now is about 10, I think. So
Okay.
maybe a little bit over
You
that.
had 50. I had said I had given you 20, so you have 20.
You did? Okay,
pearls.
I didn't.
Oh, I have 20 pearls?
Yeah.
Okay, then I have about 1250 then.
Okay.
Or
Did
I
you
guess
want to do
12.
Did you want to do 10 in credit at the Sinspire?
Yeah, I'll go about 10.
Okay. So Ezekiel and Nurum are going to do 10, Maul's going to do 15. You guys get each one of you gets a little scroll of parchment, or a scroll of parchment, with your name and the name of the bank on it. Says is a member in good standing, you know, and you have money on the books at the Sinspire.
And with my disguise, my bag is hidden, right?
Yeah. You look however you want to look.
Okay, cool. I want my bag to be hidden because I don't want anybody to try and rob me.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Good.
The other thing you guys learn is that the Sinspire only operates from sundown to sun up. It only operates at night.
Mm.
That's not ominous.
I mean, it makes sense because all of the drinking and carousing and gambling typically takes place after the workday, and so the most prestigious of the gambling houses has nothing to do during the normal workday. It only caters to those who wish to indulge, and indulgences typically take place at night.
Zeke, Nero, do you remember who we're looking for?
It's been way too long.
You're not really sure, honestly. You guys are looking for the people who the people who captured King Hecaton, and all you had to go on was a coin from the Sinspire. You've learned that coin is worth 2,000 gold pieces, but only inside the Sinspire. It's sort of like a poker chip. It's a marker.
Yeah.
Sure. But it doesn't have any individual look to it. It's not unique for a person, right?
Just for the location, not for a specific person.
Right on. Well, I say the best place to go is to the Sinspire and see what we can do.
Should we need to
Go
rest
and
first?
see who else we can ask.
Because didn't we say we were going to stay the night at the hotel?
You guys, yeah, you have. You've been here for a couple days already.
Until night, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Everybody's full hit points, full hit dice, full spells, everything.
Yeah.
I have a feeling we're gonna need it.
Yeah, definitely. Where is it? There we go. I need to. I forgot I upped my hit points. Mumble.
Rick, I swap out something for freedom of movement just in case we get in a bad spot.
Okay. What's freedom of movement do?
Get rid of bless.
What's freedom of movement do?
I can go through water like it's nothing. I can go through difficult terrain like it's nothing. My weight and encumbrance doesn't matter. It basically allows me to move anywhere, anytime through whatever's there. Gets you out of bonds, stuff like that.
Cool. It breaks, does it, if you're in shackles or whatever, does it get you out of that?
I believe so. Let me double check.
Cool. You're not super worried about that, but it's good to have.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. All right. So as you go up, you're going to go past several of the most lavish and ostentatious gambling houses you've ever seen. I mean, not really neon lights, because that sort of thing probably would not really exist at this time, but like magical fire, huge signs, things that were obviously, made out of gold for no reason. Just ridiculous amounts of wealth spewing into the streets. Everybody you see is going to be dressed nicer than you. Even though you went and spent what you thought was a lot of money on nice clothing. At first, yeah, if you want to change, you can. But you had a fine linen suit and nice cuffs and embroidery and all this stuff. And you see people walking around with basically half capes made of nothing but woven silver, and just think of the most ridiculously lavish shit you can possibly think of.
Gotcha.
I mean, these people are
rich motherfuckers.
Yeah, exactly. Puffy to the next level. And as you get to the front door, they're called the Golden Steps because there are 9 levels. And the first level is super duper nice. And as you go up each step, the cost of entry gets higher and higher and higher. So you sort of get a little nervous about your 10,000 gold piece entry, but you're confident that based on the information that you had, that's going to get you in the door. And so as you go up the steps, it just gets, ridiculous to the point of me having difficulty describing it. At one point you do see some neon lights. You're not sure exactly how they got there. Maybe somebody has a time portal or something. I don't know. And so you get to the front of the Sinspire, and you realize that it is not made of marble or stone. It is actually fashioned completely out of titanium. So the outside of the building is like this mirror finish and just sparkles in the night.
That's gaudy to the max.
Yeah. And so you get to the front door, and there are 6 guards. There's 3 on each side, and they have blank faces. They don't know you. You don't know them. You've never been here before. You don't really know what what the deal is. And the 2 in the middle just sort of have their hands crossed, and they look sort of pissed off. And the 2 on the other side have halberds. They're just kind of standing there come at me, bro. The doors are closed. There's a red velvet carpet that's 10 feet wide that's leading out from double doors that are 10 feet tall. What do you do?
Show them the bank thing. Our letter of recommendation, I guess.
Okay. So are you going to hand it to the one on the right or the one on the left? Or sorry, there's 3 on each side. So left or right?
Which ones look less pissed off right now?
They're pretty equally pissed off.
Roll for it.
Yeah, incite that shit. Let's go.
Insight I can do. We'll see if we have any kind of better idea of where they're going or who looks to be the correct way to go, kind of following other people, seeing if anyone else is looking at a specific person, anything like that.
Right now there's nobody else. There's nobody else walking up. You guys are the only ones at the top of the steps, but you do know that you need to pick either the one on the right who's got his arms crossed or the one on the left with his arms crossed. You know you don't want to approach the one with the halberd, but at this point you're not sure which one you're supposed to go to. You're not sure that there's really a difference either.
I go to the one on the left.
Okay. So he takes your parchment and he looks at it and he looks at you and he looks back down at it. He looks at you, says, "Do you have any other form of identification?" This says here that the priest Ezekiel has a letter of recommendation and credit at the Sinspire. I don't know Ezekiel. Who are you?
Now, are IDs a thing? Is that something we've ever seen before in other society?
Nope.
Sir, I can't believe you would question my integrity walking into here. I am going to use a persuasion and tell him about the Book of Talos that I was given when I was 5. This was from my daddy and my daddy's daddy. It's been down in my family line for decades and generations of decades.
Generations of decades, huh? You priests of Talos really know how to lay it on thick. And he sort of like takes one hand off of the end and lets it roll back up, hands you back the parchment, and just sort of looks at the other two, says, "Wait here. Let me check out your friends."
All right.
And he looks at you, Maul.
I hand him the paper.
He takes a look at the parchment, sort of nods his head, hands you back the parchment, looks at Nurum.
I do the same, and my parchment as well.
He's gonna look at the parchment that you gave him, and sort of give you kind of a little bit of a side eye. Look at your axe. Say, "Are you sure you can lift that thing?"
Hasn't bothered me before.
Right.
I'm stronger than I look.
The setting on that looks new. Did you have it done recently?
Fairly new.
Hey, Steve is here.
Indeed.
You're going to need to Nurum. You're going to need to convince him that you're worthy.
I gotcha. Okay. He seems particularly interested in the setting on the axe, he said.
He just noticed that it was new.
Okay. I gotcha.
So it's not so much that that he doesn't believe your letter of credit. It's just that they're very untrustworthy, and you have new boots and a new setting on your axe, and so he doesn't necessarily believe that you're a barbarian, and he doesn't believe that you're who you say you are.
I gotcha. So he needs belief that I am actually a barbarian, then.
Yep.
That I'm power.
I clear my throat.
Oh boy.
Just a moment,
I
sir.
can do an intimidation check, but I do not have. But my charisma is lousy.
I give you
don't-
guidance.
You don't
Quietly
just have to intimidate him. If you can prove you're a barbarian, he'll believe you.
Ah. I could always rage.
I mean, that'd do it.
It's like, you really don't believe I'm a barbarian. You have no
Pixar
way.
didn't happen.
Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Start breaking shit.
I'll see if I can control it afterwards, but I'm going to go ahead and rage.
Okay. So you go into your battle rage. You draw out your axe. You sort of do this little like super cool dance moves with your axe, and you take it and like slam it into the ground, and this like ungodly boom comes out, right? Because it's super easy to hit the ground. And he sort of jumps back a little bit, takes a deep breath, and goes. It's pretty impressive. Can you calm down a little bit before I let you in? Think you can do that for me?
All right.
Okay.
Rage subsiding.
Think you guys are good. Who the fuck is this guy? And he points at Steve, at Keenrick.
I recognize him on the spot, right?
What's that?
I said I recognize Keelan on the spot.
Yeah,
right?
you know who he is.
I just point at him, and he's one of my employees. He makes sure that nobody assaults my person.
We have all the protection that you would need, and all the servants that would ever be required are awaiting you within. You can feel free to send your man back to your hotel or to your home, to wherever he needs to go.
Bye, Steve. Thanks for coming.
Do you have a letter of credit,
Go
sir?
down Mad Cash and get letters of credit to get into the Sinspire, Steve.
So
Okay.
we'll assume.
Oh, we're at the Sid Spire?
Yeah.
Yes.
Kind
We'll
of.
assume that that Keenrick, you have forgery, right?
Yeah, totally. I've got. Surely I have whatever this is. I don't know what it is, but I can get it.
So if you
You
want
have
to
guidance for whatever you do, Steve.
if you just want to like brush Maul to the side and say, I don't know who this motherfucker thinks he is, but I got my own shit, and hand it to the guy,
There
you'll
we
be
go.
good. So I understand you trying to pick up for him, Will, but we need to get Steve in here too.
I was trying to, like, I was
Yeah,
gonna
no,
go
you're good.
about how he's been with my family for a long time, and
No, but they don't really allow servants in here, so we're gonna have him forge up some docs, and he's gonna come in right alongside you.
I should have said business partner.
Yeah, no big deal. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
All right, so you have a forged piece of parchment, Keenrick, but it's gonna get you past the door. You're not gonna be able to go to the money changing window with that because they will know who the fuck you are, and they
Yeah.
will run you out of here. But it's gonna get you past the guards. So as you go in, you get past the double titanium doors. You're gonna go in and you're gonna see just a giant room. Everything is one room. It's round. It's maybe 150 feet in radius, so 300 feet diameter. Almost perfectly round at the bottom, and a 20-foot tall ceiling. In the far corner, you're going to see a spiral staircase going up, and scattered across the floor are going to be different card games and different mechanical forms of gambling. They're not really slot machines, but they look sort of like that, where you put a coin in and something happens, wheels spin, smoke comes out, and it determines whether you won or not. You're going to see a big Keno wheel, and you're also going to see a fountain. The cool thing about the fountain is that it doesn't actually have any water in it. The fountain is powered by copper pennies. So it's all encased in glass, but in the middle there's just a bunch of copper pennies shooting up out of it, and then they sort of cascade down and get collected again, and then they come back up, and it's very yeah, it's completely fucking ridiculous. So and then in the middle is a circular area where you can go. That's surrounded by guards and like gates and fences and stuff, and that's where all the money changes hands. So if you want to buy markers, that's where you need to go. Or you can investigate any of the table games or anything you want. There's also maybe 100 people on this floor.
I'm gonna go
walk
buy
around and
markers.
He can buy markers. I'm gonna walk around and observe.
Cool. Ezekiel, how much do you want to get in markers? You have 10K on credit, and anything you have in hard currency you can convert.
Anything
Not
as
pearls.
I'm kind of walking in, I'm looking to see what people are playing with. What is how many markers does it look like they have
It looks
at
like
most of these tables?
it looks like everybody has at least 2,000 or 3,000. There are some
Okay.
people with much more than that, but nobody has less than 2,000, unless they're
All right,
unless they've lost a lot.
All right, I'll take 3,000 out then.
Okay. Cool.
I think I'll
So you
take out
get
3,000 as well.
you
from the
get
credit.
6 chips, each one worth 500. Or you could get one stick with 6 little lines on it. It's up to you.
I'll take the chips.
Okay.
Chips as well.
Cool. Maul, when you're going around, the smallest denomination that you see is a 100, but very, very few people have 100 markers. You're going to see most everybody with with their smallest denomination being 500, just like Ezekiel and Nurum. You're going to also see a few people with the 2,000 marker that you recognize immediately from Princess Sarissa. You're
Who
also
has
going
that, by the way? Did we ever decide?
doesn't matter. You're also going to see some people with the little sticks with anywhere from 5 to 10 lines on a stick, and you know that's worth 1,000. Each line on the stick is worth 1,000.
Okay.
You're going to see a few groups of people gathered around a table, and each one of them is going to be playing a different game. But it's very common for people to watch others play games and have conversation and drinks. You're also going to notice that all of the drinks here are included as long as you're gambling. So the people who are sitting down have drinks. It's very common for people to switch between hands to make sure that they're gambling and that they're getting their own action. And then as long as you're taking a turn frequently, you're getting alcohol for free.
Do I notice anybody who particularly stands out?
You're going to see a couple of people who have much, much larger stacks than everybody else. And you're also going to see a couple of people who clearly are, like, high nobility. So not necessarily kings and queens, but barons and dukes at the least.
I'm not talking about just the people gambling. I'm talking about anybody in the room. Do I see anybody who looks out of place, who looks like they shouldn't quite be there? Or
you don't see anybody
that
who
they're
shouldn't be here
uninvolved?
because of the difficulty of getting in. You do see a few people who stand out because they look different, but you don't actually see anybody who stands out because they don't belong.
Well, when I like the second part of that is anybody who's uninvolved, like someone who's just sitting back and watching the people as a whole.
You don't see anybody other than your party members who's currently not either gambling or actively watching someone else gamble, waiting to take their turn.
Gotcha.
You also know that there are 9 levels to the Sinspire, and you're only on the first.
I'm gonna say that I have the chip. I hand it to Keenrick so that he can gamble.
Cool.
Okay.
The chip's worth 2K.
So, what are we doing here, by the way?
You guys.
Why are we in
I'm sorry. You guys can explain it to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess there's quite a bit of history behind all of this. So,
In a hushed voice, Maul explains to you that we're trying to find any lead on the whereabouts of the Storm Giant King. The only clue that we were given is that
Megatron thing.
King
What?
Hecaton, yeah.
Megaton, sorry.
is that there's a connection between this place and his disappearance.
Okay. We don't know what kind of connection?
We were given this coin.
No, we literally have no idea at all. We just know there's a 2,000 cash shit.
And then also Maul tells you who he is, so that you're not like, who's this weird ass guy talking to me?
I know who Maul is.
Well,
I
he's in
don't
disguise.
How to disguise.
Oh, he's in disguise. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh,
I have
okay.
a hat that makes me look
Half
like
giant
somebody else.
rampage around the Sinspire.
Take gloves of missile snaring. We're not going to. You can put those to good use.
Sweet.
Yeah, Maul has a hat of disguise that he's
And
currently.
a cloak of invisibility.
Yeah.
The-
It's a
Okay.
cloak of camouflage. It's not invisibility.
What is the? Is that? What's the check to know who Maul is?
No, he tells you who he is, so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just wondering. Okay, yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you've met me before, so.
Yeah, yeah.
Steve wants to know how
You'd-
good the
you'd be
disguise is.
able to
It just
tell
gives
by
you
my
advantage
voice.
on.
I'm just curious if I can see through it. That's all. It was. Doesn't matter.
If you want to try to see through it, I'll give you advantage, but it's going to be a DC 25.
Is it perception or investigation?
Either one.
Okay, good. Investigation, I could. Oh, 25 is super hard. Never mind.
Yeah.
I don't really care that much. I was just curious.
You can tell by the way his voice sounds, because he's got that
Yeah.
very gruff voice.
And him saying I'm Maul, that tipped me off a little bit too.
Just
Yeah,
a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah, so I'm
Yeah.
smart sometimes.
About that much.
That's what a 16 intelligence gets you right there.
Hey,
Yeah.
he's working hard for that stat. Steve's got to play somebody who's smarter than him. I'm just kidding. Sorry, Steve. All right. So, as you guys are sort of getting the lay of the land And as things are sort of starting to, get a little bit more lively, people are getting into it. You guys have been here for a little while. A couple of you have gambled, won, lost a little bit. Nobody's up or down anything real super significant. Nurum, roll me a dexterity check.
Roll high.
Cool. Roll perception. All right. So, one of the servants is going to try to capture you. But you know that they are doing that, and you successfully avoid them tying you up by your ankles and dragging you out. You're short, and so they...
Figured they could take out the short guy because...
His ankles are lower than they thought.
Right. I mean, they figured that nobody would notice if they just sort of put you in a bag and hauled you out. You don't really know who it was, other than it was one of the wait staff. And
I'm able to...
Go ahead.
I look at the other guys like, this motherfucker just tried to grab me. Can we chase him down? Or did he already get away?
He's long gone. Long gone.
Yeah.
I'm going to do perception to see if there's anybody that looks like they're spending a little bit too much time looking at us.
Cool.
Same. I'm gonna do that too. After hearing this. Because this is the shit I was trying to do earlier. Just see anybody who's noticing us a little too much.
Yeah, the wait staff was taking their time, and honestly, they're all in the same uniforms, and so it wasn't something that you could see readily. Ezekiel, you see a few of the wait staff sort of looking around and wondering where their compatriots have gone, but it seems like all of the characters who were relatively suspicious and trying to grab Nurum are now gone.
Okay. I tell the party it looks like the people that were grabbing Nurum were not part of your standard wait staff. Somebody knows we're here.
Yeah.
After hearing this, I'll stay close to Nurum. Relatively close. Not suspiciously close, but close enough to where if anything happens, I can jump the people.
Cool. Keenrick,
Stay in groups of two then. I'll stay with Keenrick.
roll dexterity, and you'll have advantage because Ezekiel is next to you.
Okay. Like a dexterity saving throw?
No, just your D20 plus your dex mod.
Gotcha.
Okay, advantage.
Oh, yep.
Cool. Ezekiel, roll perception, and Keenrick, roll perception as well.
25.
Cool. You see Ezekiel, or I'll wait till Keenrick finishes his roll. Okay. Keenrick, you are you know that you are bound about the ankles, and that you're being dragged off. Ezekiel, you see a man in a human in one of the uniforms of the waitstaff, with Keenrick bound around the ankles and trying to drag him back to the kitchen.
I cast hold person.
He is held. He freezes in place, and he's still got the rope, but he's not moving anymore.
Yeah, it's a DC 18 check. I casually walk up, I snip the rope, and let Steve out.
Cool. Steve's free.
And then I look at him right in the face, and I'm like, who the fuck are you?
Maul and I see this going on.
Yeah, you guys know what's up.
What's that over there?
He's got like huge eyes. He's clearly scared for his life.
I walk over there too with Nurum.
Son, I'd be scared as well. You picked the wrong couple folk to say hi to like this.
You try to grab my legs too?
Who sent you out to be so polite?
Cook. Ah! He screams at the top of his lungs.
I don't think you can scream
cast-
if you're a hold person.
Yeah, you can. You can talk. It's just restrained.
Yeah. So he can't move, but he starts screaming. Ah! The Kraken will rise! The Kraken will rise!
It might. You might not be wrong. I'm not sure exactly where you're going here, but all right. I mean, no.
And then he
Other than delicious rum.
he's trying really, really hard to get out, but he's a common bandit. He has no chance against your hold person.
DC 18 save. He can do his thing. I'm looking around to see if anybody else looks like they're worried for him. That it looks like they're trying to jump with him, get on him.
None of the patrons give a shit.
Okay.
Other than the fact that he's screaming and they want him to shut up.
Sorry,
The head waiter.
Sorry, he owes my friend money.
The head waiter comes over and looks at him and says, "This is not one of ours."
We were told that this was a safe environment, and me and my compatriots have both been accosted by people wearing your uniforms. We were told not to bring our own servants in here. What is the meaning of this, sir?
The head waiter looks at you and says, "Sir, I greatly apologize. Your credit on the house will be doubled." He draws a dagger, places it at the man's throat, and says, "Would you like me to kill him now or kill him later?"
I think you should figure out if there's more of them because I'm concerned.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I will leave it. I think you should find out if there are more of them because I am concerned. But I appreciate how you handled this situation. You are a credit to your establishment.
He pulls a whistle off of a chain around his neck, blows it 3 times, and then every other waiter in the place is gone. He's got his knife at the man's throat and says, "Anything else?"
So he's clearly the only guy here.
Private area where we can
I'm all set, thank you, sir.
And he slices his throat.
Well, I just asked a question.
What'd you say, Maul?
I was saying if there was a private area we could speak to this gentleman.
He's no gentleman.
Yeah.
He's no gentleman. He's going to die soon.
Polite. I'm being overly polite.
Gotcha. I'm going to either kill him here or take him out front and slit his throat and throw him into the sea.
I mean, I think that's a great way to handle this.
Whichever floats your boat.
So he slits his throat right there and lets his body fall and blows his whistle 1 time, and you see a pair of dwarves come out, and they're both in very similar uniforms. Where the waiters had bow ties and cummerbunds, the dwarves just have vests, but everything else looks the same. They take the guy's body, they wrap it up, and they throw it over their shoulders, and they sort of hi-ho him on out of there. And then 2 more dwarves come out, and they cut the little square of carpet out where he had bled, and put a little patch in, sort of do a little rub and a little abracadabra. You can't even tell that there was...
help with casting mending. There you go.
Yeah, you can't even tell that there was a dead body there 2 minutes ago.
All right, heads on a swivel. I'm ready for more of this shit.
Does the waiter accept tips?
Yeah, absolutely. He puts his hand up and says, "Sir, no, you can't. I will not accept a tip from you. Your person was accosted. No need to thank me. The rest of your night is on the house."
Well, thank you.
Yep. I'm going to go look into the kitchen a little bit, see if I can see anything that he might have been taking Nurum that way, or Kenrick that way, because he said he was heading that direction.
He was heading towards the kitchen because that was his way out. You see a servant's entrance in there. You also see the head waiter, and he sort of looks at you and stops, but he was like laying into his staff, like berating them verbally.
Yep, I leave. I go back and gamble. I got double my chips. I'm ready to go play.
Cool.
Let's say if it happens again, feel like we should let it happen and see. I mean, what their deal is. We don't know who these people are, right?
We do not.
True.
We do not know why they know us or anything else like that, so that is totally fair. If you get accosted next time, Steve, Kenrick, I will allow them to accost you wherever they're going to go.
Now they know we're on to them, so I'm not sure if we're going to try that same thing.
I mean, I feel like it's easy enough to get unbound, and if they don't get too far away, there's not a whole lot that they can do.
Yeah.
They're not going to be like attacking us in the Sinspire. I feel like they cannot get away with that.
I mean, they just did, but they did not get away with it.
That wasn't an attack, and they didn't get away with it.
So as you go back to the gambling tables, a few of the nobles that you're sitting next to sort of shake their heads and go, "Fucking cultists."
Yeah.
What was that, sir?
Fucking Kraken cultist bastards.
Yeah, they mentioned something about the Kraken.
Coming here from the other far-flung islands, spreading their coral around like it's worth something. Bring us gold. Bring us silver. Bring us gems. Don't try and pass that crap in the Sinspire. This is a respected establishment.
I see.
I agree.
Those bastard cultists have been here for weeks, asking after priests and half-giants. Have you heard of such a thing? A half-giant in the Sinspire, I say.
Yeah,
That would be
high.
ridiculous.
That is unusual.
But I hear priests are mighty fun to drink with.
It depends on
Cheers,
which
sir.
kind of priests.
No.
I knew a priest of Talos once could drink me under the table.
I believe that.
His name was
When you
Tuck.
worship destruction, a long night is just a brief interlude.
Have you heard of a man named Tuck? He was a friar, I believe.
Of course, I've heard legends of Friar Tuck. Few men can drink as much as that man.
The largest and lustiest of all the friars.
If any man could be called a half giant, he would be the man.
Well said, sir. Well said.
Noble chortle, noble chortle, noble chortle.
Exactly.
If only I could meet a man such as he. Would be glorious.
So basically what you guys find out is that there have been this cult of the Kraken has been casing the Sinspire, basically waiting on somebody to come in who
Their description.
who
Matches
fit your
our description.
Yeah.
So they're looking for us.
So glad I have the hat right now.
Super want to know who this cult is. I mean, my giant bedazzled stole probably is not making me look less like a cleric.
You're super clericy right now.
Steve, we've spent like hundreds and hundreds of gold on bedazzling our shit.
Nice.
We are
I mean,
fancy.
that's what it was going to take to get in the Sinspire. You had to
Yep.
be
Not me.
nobles. I mean, yeah, Maul had the disguise way out, but
Yeah.
Super fancy.
yeah.
All right. I asked you,
pulled
is there any way
the
to
other side.
tell who the cultists are? Do they wear anything? Is there anything that's obvious, just so I can keep my eyes out?
Yeah, so the
Giant
guy that
Kraken
you guys...
tattoos on their face, maybe.
He didn't
Okay.
have it on his face, but he did have, like, tentacles on his neck.
Close.
So you remember it because when he got his throat cut, you
Yeah.
noticed the tattoos. He
Okay.
also had tentacles on his wrist as well. So
All right,
that's
then.
that's something pretty easy to. I mean, regardless of what he's wearing, you could pretty much tell if somebody either neck or wrist tentacles. Cult of the Kraken.
All right, I'm going to keep my eyes open for that and go back to business. I'll stay close to Kenrick and see if I can go win some money.
Cool.
Before you go back to business, I pull you aside and I suggest the fact that these cultists might be a lead.
Might be what?
A lead as to where King Hecaton is. And then I go back over to Nerum.
Okay.
So the rest of the night goes without further incident. You make it back to your hotel in the Savrola. As you go back to the hotel, you're going to notice a few guys who are like watching you from rooftops and dark alleys and stuff, but nobody's going to try and fuck with you.
The first one I noticed, I cast Fairy Fire off my shield on him and say, "Hi, how are you?"
He's going to run away screaming because he heard about what happened to his buddy and jump into the sea.
Nice.
To try and get the Fairy Fire off of him.
The next person that we catch, I'm just gonna look up at it and have a wide grin on my face.
He's gonna get really freaked out and run away too. He's gonna jump off of the roof into a shit pile, like Crazy Hakim's manure cart, and he's gonna have a really rough time of it.
All right, if we see another one, I'm going to cast Hold Person on him so we can go talk to him and see if we can go meet his people. I mean, at this point, we might as well go say hi, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
It's pretty obvious, yes.
Yeah.
So you've got one under Hold Person. He's in an alley. He's in a dark alley. He's held.
Examine
Hey, take me to your leader. I've always wanted to say that.
You don't want to meet the leader.
Then why do you guys keep trying to get us? I'm really confused here. Are you trying to kill us?
We would not have just asked.
You're trying to kill us.
I'm not trying to kill anybody. We got God in the Sin Spire.
You killed my friend. You slit his throat.
A very
at this point, I take the hat off and
maitre
I'm
d'
gonna go
killed
down.
your friend.
No, unprofessionalism killed them.
Yeah.
Your friend tried to grab my friend.
And your friend got slaughtered by the wait staff of the Sin Spire.
He sort of looks up at Maul, and you can smell something foul. Like he totally just pooped his pants.
And I put the hat back on and shrink back down to size.
He says, "The Kraken will rise."
That's cool.
Yeah, your friend said that too. What is this Kraken you're talking about?
I mean, he sort
Can
of
we
like
talk to him?
points to his neck. Kraken. Cult of the
I-
Kraken.
I get.
But why
I
are you
get-
trying to get us? If you're now trying to run away from us, you can pick. If you want to run, that's cool. Or if you want to hang out, we can talk.
We were told that you were coming to kill us.
Who told you this?
Our master.
I don't know who your master is,
I don't know who that is.
but we're looking for Lord Hecaton.
So you are trying to kill us.
When did looking become murdering anybody?
Yes. When?
Does killing you get us to Hecaton somehow?
And
Because that doesn't seem likely.
like he's gonna like just completely shut down talking. He's not gonna. You can tell that without casting magic on him, he's not gonna say anything else.
Friend, we have no intention.
Okay, I cast command and I hit share.
King Hecaton is bound on a ship in the Sea of Brass.
Let's see your brass.
All right.
How is that so hard?
Lady Imrith told us you were coming to kill us to try to find Hecaton.
Oh, if you're with Emrith, we might be trying to kill you then.
Lady
Yeah,
Imrith
we
is
don't
our
like that one
master.
much.
Emrith's your master.
Ooh, that's rough.
Friend.
Lady Imrith will bring the Kraken. Lady Imrith will raise the Kraken. The Kraken
Lady
will
Imrith's
rise.
damn busy lately, it seems.
That bitch has got a lot going on.
I feel like she might just be feeding them a line.
That could be.
It seems a lot easier than actually raising the Kraken. But maybe that's just...
Use brass.
Should we head back to the boat? It since he gave us the location.
Do we know where the Sea of Brass is, though?
Yeah, Talvarar is in the Sea of Brass. The Sea of Brass is the entire west coast of the world you've been traveling.
So we need more
Be
information.
more specific, sir.
It moves constantly.
All right, I'll use command as many times as you need me to get answer.
Yeah, he's completely compelled at this point.
Cool.
He doesn't really know where the ship is. He just knows that it moves around. It's as far away from the Maelstrom as it can get, because the Maelstrom is also in the Sea of Brass. You guys knew that.
Yep.
That there's no real way for him specifically to find the ship, but if you have something of King Hecaton's, he's seen some other cultists teleport back and forth using objects.
Oh, well, we have Hecaton's shell of teleporting places.
You have a conch of teleportation, then whisper his name into it, and it will take you to him.
We should also tell the ship.
Well, this seems like a trap.
We should tell the ship where we're going before we teleport so that they can pick us up.
This feels like something we could have done earlier. We haven't
We
conquered
know. We had to get us some
No, you
cultists.
can whisper his name and teleport to him, though.
Yeah. The only thing you've
I'm
ever
not
done with
going
the conch
anywhere
of
till I cash
teleportation.
out.
The only thing you've ever done with the conch of teleportation is you blow it and it takes you to the Maelstrom.
Yeah, I blew the conch.
That freaked us the fuck out one night we did that, so.
Fair enough.
So,
Is there any rope around the street?
no, but you could get some at the hotel. Ezekiel's got hold person on him. I mean, for pretty much as long as he wants.
Okay, I'm gonna find some rope. I'm gonna tie it around his neck, then tie it to a. No, I'm not gonna kill him. I'm gonna tie it. I'm gonna throw the other end over like maybe a lamp or something, just to pull him up to where he's standing on his tippy toes. And if he tries to go flat-footed, he chokes himself. And I'll tie it off so that he has to stay on his tippy toes to breathe.
He's on his tippy toes and he's a little pissed off. What the fuck, man?
Tell your friends to stop trying to kill us. They're stupid.
Okay.
All right.
You seem pretty badass. We've changed our plan from kill you to run away in fear.
Pass the word along.
That's pretty much the plan now, guys.
Perfect.
Run away screaming whenever we see you.
I made sure that was the plan. That's why I did that.
All right. Do we have to cash out at the Sinspire? Or are we done for the day? What do we do?
No, you guys are good. You can go back to the hotel, and either at the cash window or at the hotel, you'll be able to turn in your markers, and they'll take care of it for you. Yeah, they want to make it as easy for you as possible to keep your money on the books of the Sinspire.
Gotcha.
Okay. I still think we should go alert Tobias. Have him drive us there, have him drive us or fly us there so that we can get a.
I'm gonna go spend a lot of money on a lovely meal and get my ass pampered for the night. We can do that in the morning.
So you have delicacies from all over the realms. You have snails from the mountaintops of Volantis, or not Volantis. Sorry, wrong realm. But anyway. You have, boiled shark fin from Camor, and you have pastries from the dwarven keeps that Nurum knows from his childhood.
Please bring me back.
Dude, I get me a pedicure. I get my fat guy pamper on.
You
What
have
kind of fancy,
even.
what kind of fancy booze could I find?
I mean, you can find the fanciest booze. I mean, you want rum? We got 100-year-old magical cask-aged rum that'll make you hot as rhino horn. I mean, we have scotch that's was aged in barrels made from from one of the ships that built the world. I mean, they've got shit from Asgard here, basically, if you want to drink it.
I'll
I am
Yeah,
looking to spend
they have
1,000
Firebeard's
of my
brandy?
gold pieces in one evening after getting my money doubled at the Spire. So I'm doing that for whatever it entails, and then I'll adventure tomorrow.
My computer's being stupid.
Wait, thanks.
Alchemical wines.
Oh yeah, they have all sorts
Whatever.
of alchemical wines.
Did
Blackberry.
you hear what I
I didn't. I'm sorry.
Okay. I said, do they have Firebeard's brandy?
Absolutely.
I will get a bottle of that, and actually, I will split the party and head towards the ship.
Okay. Yeah, Keenrick, if you want to get a cask of Osterschalen brandy, you can. They have a 43 that you can get for 2,000 gold.
Seems like a good deal.
Maul honestly has no interest in
I eat and drink. I don't want to take anything with me. I just want to live that 1,000 gold piece lifestyle for one evening. And then I'm going to go be an adventurer tomorrow.
I am happy with the scotch.
So, Nurum, while you're enjoying your scotch, one of the waiters comes up to you and slices open an orange and puts it on a silver platter and hands it to you and says, "Sir, if I may, you need to try this." And as you take a bite of the orange, it's actually got scotch in the orange. And he says it wasn't infused; it was grown. The orange produces its own liquor. It's called the Sophia orange.
That is amazing. I think I know what I want to do in my old age. I'm trying to grow these fucking oranges.
So
Better
Maul,
start working on your alchemy.
yeah, exactly. You better
Yes,
start
yes,
working
sir.
on your alchemy. Maul, when you get back to the ship, Captain Tobias takes you into his cabin, pours you a drink, and you tell him the story, give him the whole bit, and he,
I also pour out a little bit of Firebeard's brandy for my flaming friend, Timmy.
Timmy really likes the brandy.
Oh yeah, it's fuel.
And,
I gotta hit the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. I'm sorry.
okay, and the captain is gonna be just like blown away that you were accosted in the Sinspire. He says, "I never have heard of anything like that." Are you going to go after
the Kraken?
Yes, I'm familiar with them. They're motherfuckers.
Apparently, they have King Hecaton
I think we should go kill them all.
because of Emrys, of course. That bitch of a dragon.
That bitch.
They're
Okay.
somewhere in the Brass Sea, I think.
So they're on her ship then.
I guess so. I think it might be their ship. I don't know. I didn't ask.
Imrith has a ship. Imrith has her own vessel. She hasn't used it in a long time, but it's legendary. If you should set foot upon it, be prepared with a teleportation spell or some way to get off of it, because you will die.
I pull out the conch.
That'll
How
do
do
it.
we get
I think I got
Hecaton
that
off of it
covered.
then?
Imrith knows when someone who is not invited aboards her ship, and she can come running, or flying,
We can
or
get it.
teleporting. So it'll
'Cause
take
I'm
her a
not
little
in
bit.
any mood to fight that bitch after she lightninged us last time.
She's got options, is what you're saying.
It's going to take
Yeah, I'm
her a
back.
little bit to answer the call, but she will know if you board her ship uninvited. If I remember correctly, there's no below decks. The ship is just a very, very, very large tree that she hollowed out herself into a canoe. It is the size of a normal ship, but was built from essentially one tree. So if Hecaton is on the ship, he could be bound, but it's all open to the sky.
So it's a dragon-sized canoe.
Essentially.
Well, it sounds like we just need to fly on in there and point at the Hecaton and say, "Come on, buddy."
I've never heard of such a thing.
Yeah. King Hecaton also is not very well known for being forgiving. He is
I'm counting on it.
once angered. It's very difficult to get him to not just destroy everything in sight.
Well, I don't care if he
I'm
destroys
counting on
things, as long as I'm not getting destroyed.
I've also dropped the disguise by now, so I bet I am a little close to the ceiling at this point.
Yeah, I mean you're taking up more space than you probably should in the cabin of the ship. So,
Do you think you could get us there, or should we just pop in and pop out?
I don't know where the ship is. I can get you close, and if you send up a signal, I can be there quickly. But since the ship moves constantly, I'm sure it's magically shrouded. So I'm not going to be able to just see it from aloft.
And to be honest, I wouldn't want to endanger you too much.
I can
You
take
are
care of
great
myself.
at sex.
I can
Yes,
also
but
run
if-
like a hell. Run like hell.
In a floating ship from a dragon?
Maybe not.
I mean, do we have to go kill these cultists first?
I'm on the ship with Tobias. You guys are at the hotel.
Where you can be. I mean, yeah. You know that.
Oh, okay.
You know that there's probably 20 cultists at least on the boat. But the guys you have run into so far have been relatively low-level bandits. Hecaton is probably under some sort of... And Tobias is telling you that Hecaton is probably under some sort of magical sleep. There's probably a caster on board.
Okay.
So you're looking at a fight, but really it's going to be about speed.
Okay. Then I guess after the conversation, after drinking a bit with Tim and Tobias, I guess I go to sleep and wait for the others to show up.
Okay. So you
Cool.
guys wake up in the morning, and Maul is not at the hotel with you in the Savrola, but you guys are in your rooms, fat and happy, and
I would have told Nurum that I was going to the ship.
okay, cool.
Yeah. Let's go meet him with Tobias and the rest of the crew.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys are going to board the Golden Iris and go searching the sea of brass.
No,
We
we're going to
hear-
talk to each other first.
Did we hear what Maul talked about last night?
Yeah.
As soon as you guys get there, I tell you, and I suggest the idea of using the conch to pop there and then pop out.
Well, I think we should go get some potions of haste if that's what we're going to do.
So popping out. So with the conch, right? Popping out gets us to the maelstrom, right?
Yes.
Yes, it would.
Or
if
if you have some other form, if you have some other teleportation spell you could use to get you someplace else.
Do we? I don't.
well, you can use the conch multiple times a day, can't you?
Twice, yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
we were told that we can use it to get to King Hecaton, whispering his name into it.
Yeah.
I asked Tobias if that's like
But
a
the
thing,
only other place we can go with it is the maelstrom that we know.
and that's
of,
where we need to take him back to.
I
So
mean, you're pretty confident that King Hecaton can take care of himself.
And I also asked Tobias if that's how the conches work, because I'm assuming he would know.
Yeah, no, you
Okay.
guys know too because you've used it in the past. So you guys
Well,
used it to get to the
if we
maelstrom.
whisper his name into it.
Yeah, they don't fucking know.
Okay.
Sure, try it.
I want to gear up. I think we all need potions of haste, so we're moving a little bit faster.
Yeah.
Cool. You don't have any trouble finding an alchemist to put that together for you. They're going to cost you 50 gold apiece for the
Okay.
potions.
I'll take 2.
Yep.
After
double
after
the amount
what
for
you
double the size.
after what you spent last night, you're not worried about it.
Yeah.
I'll get 2 as well.
So, what happened last time you blew it?
It took you to the maelstrom. which
So-
is the home of the Storm Giant Kings.
This time
Like
we
the worst
whisper into
water
it instead
slide
of blowing
ever.
into it.
So it's not just. So it's not like just in the middle of the ocean. There's actually stuff there.
Yeah, it's like it's underwater. It's way underwater at the center of a whirlpool. That's why it's called the Maelstrom. But yeah, it's like his king, his castle.
Gotcha.
So, Zeke, should we drink one now, right before we go?
We should drink one. They only last for like, I don't know. We gotta look up haste. I think it's a D4 rounds or 2D4 rounds. And after they blow, you go slower.
So that's why it's a good thing to have two, so you can go normal speed afterwards.
Once you're slow, you're slow. I didn't suggest grabbing two. I mean, you can have two if you want, but
Choose a willing creature that you can see within range, so anybody who drinks the potion. Until the spell ends, the target's speed is doubled, gains a +2 bonus to AC, and has advantage on dexterity saving throws, gains an additional action on each of its turns. That action can be only used to take the attack, one weapon attack only, dash, disengage, hide, or use an object action. When the spell ends, the target can't move or take actions until after its next turn, as a wave of lethargy sweeps over it.
So we should wait till we're actually on the ship then.
You get 1 minute, which is 10 rounds, and then you lose a turn after that. Basically.
10 rounds is a long time.
Yeah.
And we only lose one, right?
Right.
That's not.
Yep. So I say we crack it, then we whisper his name and get going.
Yeah, I mean,
Are we going to take them once we're on the ship, or are we going to take them now?
Probably once we're on the ship, because it took a couple minutes for us to get through the swirling whirlpool of water slide this last time.
Okay.
so do we not care about Tobias finding the ship?
No, I said to him last night, I don't want him getting possibly chased around by a giant dragon.
Fair enough.
I want him to stay out of trouble because he's a very valuable asset. And also, I guess we'll tell him where the Maelstrom is.
I mean, he's
You
still not
picked
going to be
us
able
up
to
there.
get there.
Okay,
Didn't you
true.
pick us up there last time?
Teleportation circle got you out.
Oh, you're right, you're right.
How did we leave? How did you guys leave the Maelstrom last time you were there?
There's a
Teleportation.
teleportation circle.
Oh, okay.
And that whole night I left Timmy with Tobias, so
Okay.
to possibly learn.
Not this time, but he needs at least a couple of days to train him. One night's
Okay,
not
cool.
enough. So you guys are going to stand in a circle, hold hands, kumbaya.
And whisper into the shell.
Whisper
into
then
the shell.
chug some fucking potion.
So real quick, before we do that, our goal is to grab the
Free
King
Hecaton.
King Hecaton
Grab
and get
Hecaton,
him back
get
to the
the fuck
Maelstrom.
I can use freedom of movement, which will automatically get him out of any restraints. Non-magical and magical.
We'll get him out of the restraints while he's unconscious, then teleport him back to But there's going to be a spellcaster on there, so we might have to take that fucker out first.
You guys ready?
Think so.
What? I'm gonna cast invisibility
On
How long does it last, Steve?
real quick. What's it?
How long does it last?
Up to an hour.
Okay. Cool, because it takes a few minutes last time when we used the con. So
I also put up my hood,
cool.
so. Yep, Hackathon.
So
Oh, how good is your stealth to begin with?
What?
How good is your stealth to begin with?
My stealth ability is
Because, I mean, the hood just gives you advantage on stealth, I think.
Yeah, it does more than that.
And pass without a trace or something like that.
Yeah, so +10 to dexterity stealth checks.
I have
And
a
you can't be
14.
tracked by non-magical means.
All right. Plus 10's big.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I also have a 4 to stealth, so.
And it
Plus 10's
stacks.
huge. That's way better than advantage.
Pass without trace is beastly.
Well, pass without trace, fantastic, yeah.
So, you guys are going as you whisper his name into the conch. You're gonna just see this huge wave come out of nowhere and splash over the deck of the Golden Iris, and you guys are gonna sort of disappear into what sort of feels like hyperspace, only way more watery. And you're gonna like go through this like tunnel of water, and you guys are just all completely fucking soaked. And you're going to arrive, and you're gonna be sitting. You're all going to like just sort of land on Hecaton's chest. He's 25 feet tall, and he's bound at the ankles and at the knees, at the waist. His arms are at his sides, bound. He's bound like twice across his chest, across the neck, and across his forehead. You can tell that the bindings are clearly magical. And you're going to see, as promised, you're going to see a bunch of cultists sort of come up out of a stupor because they were all fucking hammered and look at you guys and be like, "What the fuck? Where'd you come from?" Draw their weapons and attack you.
Roll initiative.
Yep. Everybody roll initiative. And you guys have 1d6 rounds before Imrith shows up.
That's cool.
So somebody roll a d6. Nurum? Sorry, Keenrick rolled a d6. You have 5 rounds before...
You're awesome.
Glad
Way better than I am.
He'll do that shit.
Or, we could go with Ezekiel. You guys get 1 round. I'm going to be nice, and Keenrick rolled a 5, so you guys have 5 rounds before Imrith shows up.
That's why I rolled before he did.
Yeah.
I knew he was going to
16, 14. Ezekiel and Nurum need initiative from both of you.
Oh, I gave it to you. It was 5.
Good advantage on initiative.
Crit initiative. Nice.
Crit initiative.
Frickin' Neuron.
Well, yeah, you did. I missed that. My bad.
I forget. I think I was a level 7 thing, but
Well, how often does Neuron not crit? That's the real question.
Yeah, I mean, really. That's
Last
the
game, I think he was doing poorly.
yeah.
It was the game before that.
Only what? Critting every other roll?
No, he wasn't critting at all. In fact, I was the one doing that shit.
And let's go. Yep. All right, we're going to take 1 round, and then that's going to be it for tonight. But we'll pick it up either next week or in 2 weeks whenever you guys are good to play.
Okay.
Okay.
Nurm, Hecaton is bound, and the cultists are going to be attacking you, but you are first to act. What would you like to do?
Probably gonna need to. I don't suppose I could see any of them. I try to see if anyone of them would be a magic user, possibly perception check.
You don't really. I mean, yeah, you can roll perception if you want, but nobody has cast any spells yet, so it's not really going to do you any good.
No. Beforehand. They're in here right now with us, or?
Yeah, it's all, like I said, it's all one dugout canoe.
Right.
Everybody's all up in your business.
All right.
Hecaton's bound at the ankles, at the knees, once across his thighs, once at his waist, twice on his chest, neck, and forehead.
They got this bastard Gulliver travel style.
Fuck yeah, they do.
Yeah. I'll head to the one bounds at the ankles.
What's that?
I'll head to the binds at the ankles then. See if I can cut through those with my axe.
Sure, roll to hit.
Go fight somebody. Jesus. Talos.
Roll to hit the bindings.
Alright, that's 10.
You hit. Roll your damage. The bindings at his ankles are gone.
Alright.
You have another attack if you want to use it.
Am I within range of any of the other binds?
Yeah, sure. You can do the ones at his knees too.
Do the ones at the knees as well. Same
Cool.
thing.
You hit. And they're gone.
Alright.
Cool. AC on the bindings is 10. It's not very
my
much.
question is, do the guys go after us, the cultists?
Absolutely. They have weapons drawn there ready to attack you, but they are waiting until it's their turn in initiative.
I'm gonna hold my turn until after Zeke.
Okay. Keenrick.
So, how many are left? Is it just the chest and head?
No, he's got waist, 2 chest,
Oh, wait.
neck, and head.
Okay, all kinds of them left.
Yep.
Gotcha. I'm gonna move up to the head and can I untie them?
No.
You have to cut them
You
off.
have to attack them. Basically.
You have to cut them off, yeah.
Okay.
You don't see any way that they're tied. They're magicked around them.
Gotcha. In that case, I guess I will just attack them.
Gulliver's Trap.
Yeah, I think you hit. And unless you do minimum, what's your damage roll?
It's plus 6.
Yeah, you're gonna do enough to cut through them.
Okay.
So the ones around his head are gone.
In which case, I'm not invisible anymore.
Okay. Cool. So King Hecaton is going to roll a Constitution save.
Come on, buddy.
But he fails. Ezekiel.
Damn.
I whisper to him that children of Talos are held by nothing, and I cast freedom of movement. He can't be affected by any restraints or paralyzed or difficult terrain for the next hour.
Okay. So King Hecaton is still magically asleep, but he is no longer bound.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you this. If they're unconscious, do they still have to be willing to teleport?
No, you just have to touch him.
Okay, I basically get close enough to where we can chain together and still touch Hecaton, and
I mean, Nurem's not wearing shoes.
Well,
so
we're standing on him at the time.
okay,
Yeah.
then we're all standing on him. I blow
You're
into
good.
the couch.
Okay. I guess we don't need to take more than one round.
But I wanted to loot the body.
No,
So
friend,
you hear this
no.
this trail
No,
of like the
pollute.
you hear the Doppler effect. I'm gonna take this off for a second. Loot the body. And everybody appears at the entrance to the Maelstrom,
With him?
except for King Hecaton.
Fuck!
But you know that he was teleported to the Maelstrom. He just comes in a different way because he runs the motherfucking place.
Okay.
He is
good.
in the throne room.
We still gotta float down all majestic and everything.
Looting the body.
That's great. I feel like
I
thrones
guess
are
since
not
I'm-
comfortable for napping.
What's
I
that?
could li-
I
what?
feel like thrones are not comfortable for napping. I feel sorry for him.
He's just in the throne room. He's not on the throne. He's like laid out on the floor in the throne room.
Yeah.
The magic's not that intelligent.
He's unconscious. I guess since my new ability allows me to walk on walls in liquid, I can just literally walk down to the bottom of the maelstrom.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, you do the Peter Pan flying thing where your legs are kicking, and you enter like super cool. Everybody else lands flat on their ass, and Maul's like, "What up, motherfuckers?"
I fly on a tornado by casting me a spell. I don't
Yeah.
land on my ass.
What do we do? Does Featherfall help? I don't know what we're doing.
Yes.
Featherfall would totally help.
There we go.
I mean, it doesn't hurt you. You just look like an idiot.
I have a bejeweled stole. I look awesome. I cannot fall on my butt.
And a tiara.
And a tiara.
Can we all run up to the throne room real quick?
Yeah, I mean, do you guys have a little bit? Everybody cool
Yeah.
with going a little late? All right,
Yeah.
cool. Well, then we'll go up to the throne room, and everybody is in. Let me move the map and background.
As soon as we landed, I also put my hood down.
All right, everybody is in. In throne room.
Where's Sarissa?
She is. She's in her quarters.
I start yelling for Sarissa.
All right, so she comes in, and she comes in alone, and
And
she
I go ta-da!
falls to her knees, tears streaming down her face. My father, my father,
He's
thank you
unconscious.
so much. And she sort of like touches him and like pokes him a little bit and rolls him over onto his back because he was on his face. Like says a couple of things, and then he sort of like sputters to life. What? And he slaps her across the face backhand. Just like completely reactionary. He has no idea who she is.
Well,
And
that's ungentlemanly.
everybody roll a dexterity saving throw.
I use my tiara.
By this coming.
Yeah, oh yeah, you totally see it coming. He's flailing around like an idiot.
Okay, this is ungodly. So
Danger sense kicking in there for the 14 instead
My
of the 11.
tiara.
I get an 11. I got a 25. I'm good.
Okay. Nurum, you got a 14.
Yeah.
And Keenrick, you got a 19. And Ezekiel, you used one of the charges in your tiara.
Yes, sir.
All right. Nurum, you take 20 damage. And you are pushed 10 feet up against the wall. And
Yeah.
I'm not going to make you prone. But you could have been potentially had you missed by much more than that.
Gotcha.
And so he's just sort of, what the fuck? Stupid
You are
asshole
home, safe and
cultists.
sound. Now calm down, please.
I was taken from my home. I was bound. I'm not calm
And
down.
now you've been returned. You slapped your daughter across the face, mind you.
He sort of looks around and just sort of gets his shit together. Who did this? Who's responsible? And who the fuck are all of you?
We rescued
Well, I'm
you.
Ezekiel. It's nice to meet you, sir. We've been looking for you for a while.
I feel we need to fill him in on Emrith. And
Imrith? The blue dragon bitch?
yes.
She wasn't trying to pass herself off as a storm giant again, was she?
Oh, how
Exactly what she was trying to do.
She was
Sarissa?
successfully doing it.
Sarissa, were you beguiled by her? And then Sarissa just kind of goes, very weepy. Gentlemen, you must understand. Imrith has been plotting my demise for years. What is the state of the ordning?
broken?
Fuck balls.
Apparently, you've been out of it for a while.
Quite some time.
No.
Quite some time. Is it autumn? He looks around, and it's the middle of fucking summer. So he's been out since last autumn.
Mm-hmm.
Shit's been going wrong for a while. And so he says, I've got a lot of work to do. Sarissa, come with me. Gentlemen, this, and he reaches underneath the throne and hands you a tablet, like a stone tablet. Break this, and it will take you to Emrith's lair. You must be ready to defeat her when you assault her in her lair. An ancient blue dragon will not take this lightly. My daughter and I will put the ordning back together to save the world. I'm counting on you to rid it of the scourge of Emrith.
You don't want your hand in this?
I must protect the ordning. My daughter and I are the only ones who can put it to rights.
Can we have like a month to level up a little bit more? When does this have to get done?
I turned to Zeke and I'm just like, do you think our giant friends would be interested in this?
Oh, we're gonna call in all the cavalry we got, but
call in the motherfucking cavalry. If they don't want to help, tell them that I said that they must.
All right,
Lord
then,
Portico, Daltor, all of them. Bring them to bear.
I think Zolto's wife would be willing to help too. And
absolutely.
Yeah.
So basically what it's going to be is in the fight against Emrith, you guys are going to each run a giant as well.
I'm assuming in the future we got a Gathering Giants Up montage coming up.
We need a montage! Yeah. So that's basically what's going to happen is each one of you in 2 weeks is going to get a giant to run. One of you is going to run Harshnag. One of you is going to run Lord Portico as a cloud giant caster. One of you will run Daltor as a fire giant. We'll bring in either a stone or or another storm giant for one of you guys to run.
Okay.
And we'll have it out with Emrith.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go up to him and I'm gonna be like, with us fighting that big old dragon, is there any chance you could do a little something to this? I show him Thunderstruck.
He takes a look at it and says, now this is a worthy weapon. Throws it up in the air, and it does like a really cool figure 8 3 times. It comes back down in his hand. This will serve you well. And he hands it back to you. It's now a +3 Warhammer.
I also asked him about the spears that were in that one room by the statue.
Anything here that you feel like you need, you may take with you. Weapons.
Those are relics, aren't they?
No, they're not. They are weapons in the war against the dragons. Ancient they may be, one of them is yours.
Okay. That works out. What are they specifically?
It's a +2 spear with some sort of magical spell that I'm not sure yet because I wasn't ready for that. I just sort of made it up. So I'll figure out a spell for you and I will let you know.
I don't forget things.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
Also, I take out some more of the crab meat and I say, this is for the statue. It gives you nice shells when you give it to him.
I think the statue was fucking with you.
Don't care. Then give it to my whale friend. That's fine too.
Sarissa takes the crab meat from you and says, my whale will really appreciate this.
Oh, yeah. Crap, what's the whale's name?
I don't remember what the whale's name was.
Gave it to him.
Jacob.
Jacob, yeah, Jacob the whale. He will appreciate that.
Was a bullfrog.
All right.
I guess
Durham, he looks at you, says, "Give me your axe, good sir."
I was about to say, like, all I've got is my trusty axe. It's been with me for quite some time.
He takes his axe, your axe, and he like, I forget what the word is, but he like strikes it on the ground, blade first.
Mm-hmm.
And when he pulls it back up, the blade is made of gold. And he hands it back to you. It was a +1 axe before.
Because of the gem, yeah.
The gem's still there. It's now a +2 axe.
Ooh.
And the blade is made of gold.
So,
The
so that's a +2
golden
instead of +1 right now, right?
Yep.
All right.
It also is going to give you, while you are touching it, it's going to give you resistance against lightning.
That's helpful.
Well, I'm holding this.
Okay, I hold up my blade arm. I'm like, can you make me resistant?
He sort of smacks you on the face a little bit.
Well, I
says,
just want to be resistant to lightning, man. I don't want to get shocked anymore.
How's that feel?
Don't tase me, bro.
Don't tase me, bro.
We can find potions for that too. So if you don't have it, we can get there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was saying resist elements is a pretty low level spell. It's like second, third.
Yeah. He's going to smack you in the face, and you're going to get hit with a lightning spell that doesn't do shit to you.
Okay, yeah, no, don't tase me, bro. Don't do it. Just don't do it. It don't feel good.
Yeah. And he's going to look at you and say, Keenrick, and say, my daughter didn't tell me that there was a rogue with them earlier. Are you a new addition to the party?
Apparently, I'm just that sneaky.
No, we just found him again. He had been playing hide and seek with us, and we lost him.
No, playing hide the cucumber, eh? You stay away from my daughter. Which stone did you have, Keenrick? I don't remember.
The fire, I believe. Yeah, fire opal.
I was gonna say I can't affect the stone myself or your weapon myself. You need to speak with Daltor, and he'll take care of that for you.
I have the cornerstone. That's right. Oh my god.
All right. So think about who you want to run next time, and if you have a preference, let me know. I'll have stat sheets ready to go for you guys. In 2 weeks, we'll have the final battle.
Yeah, of course you picked Harshnag. I was just thinking about that one.
I brought him back from the dead. He's only here because of me.
Ezekiel, you have Harshnag.
Boomtown.
Daltor is going to be what? Is he just going to be a standard fighter, or?
He is a fire giant.
Well, I know, but is he going to be a fighter or a mage?
He's a fighter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Big ass sword, I thought, or something
Yeah, he
like
has a flaming sword.
that.
I
Big ol'
guess
flaming sword.
Portico is going to be the mage, right?
Portico will be a mage, yes.
I will take Portico.
Okay, type that in for me real quick so I don't forget, and I will send you the link to that. Nurum, do you want to run Daltor?
I'll run Daltor, yeah.
Okay, type that in for me real quick so I don't forget.
Keenrick can play his wife or his brother.
Who's the cloud giant that we went up to?
That's
Cloud
Lord
Giant?
Portico.
No. That was before we found Portico, wasn't it?
Zaltor? Or
The one that made me the mask?
Oh, that was I forget his name. He was let me pull this out real quick.
Yeah.
That was the one from Cloud Giant's Bargain.
Yep.
He was. Let's see. Yep.
I don't remember his name.
Yeah, it's been a while since we ran that. He is. Let's see. He's in here. Yeah. Tower. He is. Olthanis. You want to run Olthanis, Keenrick?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Type that in for me real quick.
Is that with an O?
Olthanas.
Oops.
Close enough.
Yeah, I typoed, but yeah. You know what I mean.
Yeah, that's fine. He will also be a cloud giant caster.
Nice.
That's gonna be useful.
Cool.
You still got that destructive wave stone, right? You didn't.
Yes.
I have that, yeah.
Yeah, you didn't integrate that.
No, that was...
You can still use the spell.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Cool.
We'll need it.
Good job tonight, guys. That was a lot of fun.
Yes. Nice. I'm loving my outfit of gold here.
Yeah, you were covered in gold.
Yeah.
Golden Barbarian.
He's gold member.